Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us here. I'm Shivani Gupta and joining me is our National Affairs Editor Aman Sharma. And the big headline that we're discussing out of the 2024 general elections today is exactly what happened in Uttar Pradesh. In fact, the NDA alliance is second to the INDIA alliance as far as these results are concerned, and nobody saw that coming. Yes, there were pockets where we expected the BJP could be challenged a little bit, but from Smriti Irani's loss to the Prime Minister's vote share coming down, this has been an absolutely baffling result. But already there are some questions being raised on why this has happened. For example, Suresh Khanna, Minister of the UP government, has come out to say that maybe there was a sense of overconfidence amongst the voters that we have already won, although their leadership tried their best, Aman, but somehow they weren't able to overcome that. And also Jativad made a return, he suggests. The impact of Jativad or caste politics in 2019 was lesser versus this year.
I think, Shivani, if we put it in perspective, the UP result, let's break it down 2-3 points, I think, because this is very significant what has happened in UP. SP has won 37 seats in UP, while the BJP alliance, the NDA, could only win 36.
Yeah.
So, in a way, it is lesser than the Samajwadi Party also. Samajwadi Party with 33 plus Congress of 37 plus 6 takes it to 43 in fact.
They're the single largest
party. The single largest party, the Samajwadi Party now in UP, even bigger than the NDA alliance on the other side. So what has gone wrong? Number one, I think, which everybody is now speaking about when you speak to people off record in UP, is that the candidate selection of the BJP were the central leadership of the BJP and the UP leadership on the same page or not. Now this is very clear, and I'm learning it from credible sources in UP, that Mr. Yogi Adityanath wanted at least 1/3 of the sitting candidates to be dropped or their seats changed to an adjoining seat, not being floated from the same particular seat.
For anti-incumbency.
And they had not done work, and they were unpopular in their respective areas. There are sometimes two-time MPs also. Now, if we see, they had 64 sitting MPs, the BJP. They only cut the tickets of 14 MPs. 50 sitting MPs of the BJP, some multiple time MPs also have contested in these elections. The shocking figure is that out of those 50, 26 of them have lost in these elections. More than half have lost. 7 union ministers have lost in UP. Smriti Irani, Mahendra Nath Pandey, Ashok Kumar Teni, Mr. Balyan, Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti, Kaushal Kishore, Bhanu Pratap Verma have lost. 2 state ministers have lost. It's a disaster for the BJP in UP, and this is maybe showing that maybe not changing the candidates has costed the BJP big time in UP. Why it was not changed, we don't know. They changed it in other states, like Bihar saw change in
this
candidates.
This has been actually the good trick of the BJP. They tend to do that and actually reap rewards. Like in Delhi, they changed 6 of their sitting MPs.
Exactly.
And anti-incumbency didn't hurt them, even though in Delhi, anti-incumbency was a factor.
Exactly, and that's why it was not done in UP is now a matter of hot debate. And why did BJP not do this? Clearly, it has not worked. BJP has lost to do the same. The state leadership wanted more to be changed, and many people are now saying that was there some inside Bhitar Ghat, as they say, inside tussle, which has led to this. Obviously, in the days to come, we will see what accountability is fixed for that. The caste issue that Mr. Suresh Khanna is mentioning is also very, very interesting, because if that becomes clear when you look at the ticket distribution done inside the Samajwadi Party camp. So the details I just pulled out looking at the ECI records, that Samajwadi Party gave tickets only to 5 Yadavs and 4 Muslims.
So the MY factor was actually played down, even though that is what their politics is known for.
Yeah, because they knew that vote is anyways coming to us, especially after SP had combined with Congress.
Yeah.
So they knew that the Muslim vote bank is firmly with us, Yadav vote bank is firmly with us. Let us concentrate on the BJP's vote bank, which is non-Yadav OBC. So as many as over 2 dozen non-Yadav OBC candidates were put up by SP. This is the first time ever SP has done such an experiment. They gave tickets to Dalit leaders, even on non-reserved seats. So like the Ayodhya, which has been talked about a lot. Yeah. Why did BJP lose Ayodhya? A Dalit, Avdesh Prasad Singh, was given the ticket from there. It is a non-reserved seat, but BJP put up Avdesh Prasad Singh there, and he has won in a record victory. 7 reserved seats, in fact, in UP have been won by the Samajwadi Party. So this also feeds into the debate, which was spread, I think, by Samajwadi Party very effectively in UP, that if BJP comes to power, reservation will go. The constitution will be changed. I have travelled in villages in UP on the ground. There was this sentiment that BJP tried to counter it. Of course, Mr. Modi, Mr. Amit Shah said from the top stages.
Yogi Adityanath, I remember, had come out and given a bite 2-3 days after top leaders of the India Alliance made these statements, when Rahul Gandhi's bite went viral as well. And he came out and said it because they knew the impact this could have in Uttar Pradesh.
They had a bad experience in Bihar in 2015. Yeah. So Mohan Bhagwat's statement about review of reservation, went wildfire, and BJP lost that election. So obviously they tried to corrected, but I think the damage was done, and some certain BJP leaders had also come out, and made statements, Anand Hegde and others, that we will change the constitution and all that. I think that went to the ground, and that is something that I think has had an impact. Another key figure I'm seeing here, that BJP's vote share in UP is down from 49.49% to 41% from 2019. It's a 9% drop in vote share, totally disastrous. In fact, the SP's vote share has gone up to 33% now. Along with the Congress, they are over 40% in UP. So this is, I think, very, very dangerous signal for the BJP in UP ahead of the upcoming assembly elections. Another thing that I think which has worked against the BJP is that feeling which central level too much of Thakurwad and UP politics. I think it has offended even the upper caste voters of the BJP, the Brahmins, the Rajputs, obviously the OBCs. So this is also something that maybe will need some course correction, because BJP feel that a Thakur chief minister and नीचे भी जो establishment है वो एक तरह से ठाकुरवाद उसमें थोड़ा heavy हो गया, and that is what is creating trouble for them. What did you pick up, Shivani, when you traveled?
So I think what has happened is that as Suresh Khanna mentions, there is a certain sense of complacency that we were talking about throughout this campaign. That was the biggest worry for the BJP. Now, of course, we suspected that the Prime Minister's 400 par pitch is going to make sure that they cut out on that complacency, because now you will be actually gearing up for a target which is much tougher to achieve and almost unprecedented, barring once, right? So that complacency, it looks like, did not quite go away. And Suresh Khanna mentions this, right, that there was a complacency and we felt like we had already won. So there was a certain sense of complacency and winning attitude amongst the core voter of the BJP. Core voter of the BJP may have become a little bit more complacent, and then of course there was some certain vote share drops, etc. as well. But I think from what I have also now felt is that there's a certain element of arrogance that people don't like. Now, they may like you or your party or your policies or what work you have done. But if in their interactions, they begin to believe that you have become arrogant because of that power. Now, you mentioned the 7 union ministers who have lost. When you have high profile faces of a party losing, but otherwise not so high profile candidates winning, despite so much, almost a wave against you, then it tells you that there is an arrogance or a perception issue. Right? There is also this feeling that you were not seen on ground. For example, in Ayodhya, how many people knew who the MP from Ayodhya was? Ayodhya was discussed non-stop for 2 years or 2 years plus, and certainly non-stop for 6 months before the Pran Pratishtha. Even after that, did people know who the MP from
another
Ayodhya
classic
was?
case of a multiple time MP being repeated. Maybe the candidate may have changed and things may have been different, I don't know, but repeating these multiple time, I remember going to Kerala, for example, and the people that told me, we haven't seen our BJP MP for the last 5 years in any village. That is
there was a complacency in BJP leaders or MPs that Modi ke naam pe to hum jeet hi jayenge, which was true. It held true for a while, but it is no longer true. And then there was this certain element of arrogance, I think, that people always vote out. Just look at what has happened in state governments, for example. Even Mamata Banerjee, she may have recovered now, but there was a time that Mamata Banerjee also suffered in West Bengal. She quickly recovered from it because she is a fighter and she knows how to get her vote bank back. But look at YSRCP, look at KCR. I was in Telangana, for example. What did people say about KCR? They have become too arrogant. They have become too arrogant. They have become too arrogant. Everybody kept saying this.
The electorate rejects arrogance. That is very, very clear that people don't have any threshold for arrogant
even
politicians.
If they like your work, even if you have delivered for them. And UP, I have said this consistently and I maintain it, that this is the prime example of a double engine sarkar. Everywhere you go in UP, you see impact of both the state work and the central work. Yet, if you come across as arrogant and you've not seen on ground, there's no accessibility, or it feels like you believe that you're invincible, then people don't like it. There was no on-ground presence of the Ayodhya MP in Ayodhya. Lalu Singh, all throughout the fact that Ayodhya was in national headlines, right? Why is that? In fact, you and I have been to Ayodhya, right? For the Pran Pratishtha and other events. We didn't see Lalu Yadav anywhere. We didn't see any promotion of him. He was not seen. Fine, I can understand. You get overpowered because the Prime Ministers or the Yogi Adityanath's posters will be there. But you're like you're almost inconsequential to that constituency. Then why will people vote for you if they have other issues? And I think there was anti-incumbency, which the BJP, as you very rightly said, failed to recover. But anti-incumbency also you can cut only to a certain amount as long as people show humility, right? So I think those are the things that have gone wrong. I just want to mention, Aman, and this is my theory, I think we have to wait a little bit before we truly understand what has transpired in Uttar Pradesh. I think it's one of those results. Things will settle down. I think we are all baffled by what has happened. But I have a theory that in UP, as I said, the double engine sarkar was in full steam, right? This is where it works best. Nowhere else has it worked this well. But I feel deliverables alone cannot tide you over term after term after term. This was the third term that Modi was fighting for, and Yogi is in his second term, mid-second term.
Yes.
So if you feel कि हमने इतने घर बनवाए हैं इसलिए हमें वो वोट मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, हमने इतने जल कनेक्शन दिए इसलिए हमें वो वोट मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे नहीं होता है. Deliverables wear off after a point, and I'll give you examples of that. Again, you look at state election results, they are a little bit of a indication of how people do it. Naveen Patnaik loses.
Yes.
Popular figure, welfare. KCR loses. Popular figure, welfare. Jagan Reddy, popular figure, welfare. UP, so much welfare, so much deliverables. You've lost to the India Alliance. Narendra Modi, his core is the fact this Labharti model. You've suffered a setback in the national.
So it's
election.
outruns its utility after a point of time.
After a point. Also, if you have other issues that you're ignoring, if the public has other issues that you are ignoring or unable to settle or solve, then those issues will override deliverables.
That's a very important point, I think, Shivani, and that I think is a lesson for the BJP that delivery model is fine, Labharti model is very good, but at the end of the day, you also have to address issues like maybe rural distress, inflation, unemployment. Paper leak was a major issue in UP. Youth were speaking about that. Maybe some things left unignored, as you correctly say. Some MPs and some leaders thought that the PM's image will see them through. That the people are voting for Prime Minister Modi, and candidate doesn't matter. Well, that doesn't
you will
seem to be
attest
true.
to it also, Aman. When I went on ground, every candidate was only talking about Narendra Modi.
Yeah.
They were not talking about themselves.
What they have done in the last 5 years or 10 years. As some are multiple time MPs in.
So you could argue that this is an easy way to connect to the voter because the voter understands Narendra Modi or likes Narendra Modi a little bit better, and these are national elections, these are not state elections, so you could understand that. But clearly it only takes you so far, especially when you've already there is an anti-incumbency, right? You've been in power for 10 years. You've been in power for 7 years in the state. So how long can you stretch that is also the issue.
So important pointers here from Shivani, and I think UP is the state where this election was essentially lost.
And West Bengal.
In terms of majority by the BJP. Of course, BJP is forming the next government. Mr. Modi will be the Prime Minister for the third time. But I think UP is a big alarm bell for the BJP. Maybe some course correction will happen in the next few months and we may witness that. But it's very clear that ahead of the UP elections for 2027, when the state will poll again, there is now a formidable challenge from Akhilesh Yadav. Even in the last election, Akhilesh Yadav did reduce Yogi Adityanath's seats, so BJP got a full majority. But still, SP is a force to reckon for in UP very clearly, and this is something the SP Congress alliance, this MY plus non-OBC word consolidation which has happened this time, would is something that BJP will set up and take notice, and we will see maybe some course correction in the coming years, and maybe accountability will be fixed on who's to blame for this fiasco, I would say, which has happened in Uttar Pradesh for the BJP. Thank you guys so much for joining us on CNN News 18.